Enjoy this opportunity to learn about the 9 steps to quantum health transformation, version 3.0, and to add what you learned to our collective wisdoms to further elevate humanity. As we upskill each other, we will heal, evolve, and incorporate components of this program into our personal realities. This will assist us to become healthier individuals and more dynamic healers as we further develop our truths and share them with others. This grassroots movement will bring about positive changes in our own lives and within our world community. Quantum Health Transformation version 3.0 is meant for everyone who wishes to become the change we wish to see in the world. This free online course will benefit everyone at any level of mental or physical health. It is ideal for people who are searching for a comprehensive, holistic lifestyle program, experiencing ascension symptoms, alternative healers, or for those who simply want to expand their awareness. Enjoy all of the fully illustrated, narrated videos of this free online course featured on my channels and website. Steps 9, 8, and 7 open the mind and raise awareness. Steps 6, 5, and 4 teach you about holistic detoxification, body, mind, and your perceptions. Steps 3, 2, and 1 teach you how to achieve energetic ascension or to simply create a peaceful and rewarding reality for yourself. Open your mind to understand the basics of quantum physics and learn how you and your world are perfectly created to manifest anything and everything which serves to our highest good. While exploring this online course, I suggest you keep a journal for personal notes, data collection, synthesis, and reviews. Your journal will assist you to make connections between course material and your personal experiences. Keeping a journal will reveal personal learning opportunities not previously recognized and will provide a structure to keep track of your knowledge and experience. Check out this free online course, which includes over 25 videos to view at your convenience and can be shared in any teaching environment under the Fair Use Clause. I encourage you to purchase all 12 PDF copies of this online course from my website shop and create a playlist of all the quantum health transformation materials for easy access and reference. I believe that we can become the change that we wish to see in the world, and that we all could use an edge to assist with this process. When our personal lifestyles harmonize with the natural state of the earth and not the mainstream mindset, we heal the planet as we heal ourselves. Start with these practices found in the 9 steps to quantum health transformation. Logic, language, and lifestyle form your passport to a new and amazing reality. Please note that Quantum Health Transformation has no affiliation with the company known as Quantum Health, which is located in Ohio State, or their website. YouTube has added this advertising link to my description without my consent. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe, leave me a comment, and share this video with your friends. Now for the video tutorial. Welcome back to Quantum Health Transformation version 3.0, Advanced Training for Healers and Alternative Health Practitioners. Today we're going to look at step 9, and this information is taken from the primer, which is available on my website. We'll start with an overview of the whole program as seen before you. Quantum Health Transformation is a new health paradigm, and it was written by myself, Karen Holton. Version 3.0, Advanced Training for Healers and Alternative Health Practitioners. And this is Step 9, Black, Introduction to the Nubby Ball Tool, and Light Shadow Integration. This PDF primer is meant to accompany the corresponding live recorded video workshop of the very same name, Quantum Health Transformation version 3.0, Advanced Training for Healers and Alternative Health Practitioners, Step 9 Black, Introduction to the Nubby Ball Tool, and Light Shadow Integration. Be sure to check it out. Both primer and live Quantum Health Transformation version 3.0 workshops will be presented in descending number order when published to YouTube and my website. Start with step 9 and work your way down to do step 1 last. All information presented in any Quantum Health Transformation media was received in a download and was channeled from the Living Library, which is also known as the Akashic Records. Further, this material was downstepped and developed through the filter of my own personal life experience. I am not an expert, a mathematician, or a scientist. I am a seeker of knowledge and wisdom. The Quantum Health Transformation Program is ideal for those who are awakening and for those who are experiencing ascension symptoms. But the content is beneficial for everyone who wishes to experience a better quality of life. This system of quantum health transformation works well for me. However, you must synthesize this information and take only that which serves you. At the very least, it is my hope that from this material, you will be stimulated to seek your own inner wisdom. Here's an image of myself. It's an actual photo taken of me with my aura back in 2007. Please note that any part of the Quantum Health Transformation Original, version 2.0 or version 3.0 series can be copied and shared for free under the Fair Use Clause, as long as credit is given to myself, Karen Holton. Thank you. Please help to support my work by asking your clients and customers, and you yourself, to purchase PDF copies of this presentation from my website shop. I'm only charging $3.99 Canadian. It's a small donation that helps me to cover some of my expenses so that I can produce this information. Introduction to the Nubby Ball, a tool for analysis and integration. It all started when I was having difficulty navigating certain social situations, so I asked my guides for help. Excuse me. In my mind's eye, they presented me with an image of a sphere suspended in space. I was then asked to imagine that I could see the other person's viewpoint from a specific social interaction, and then to plot this as a point on the sphere. I was then asked to imagine what the opposite position or vantage point might be on the opposite side of the sphere. I did so, and as I focused on the sphere, it became a nubby ball with infinite points or nubs covering it all over. I very quickly came to see that there were as many positions or points of view for this given social situation as there were nubs, an infinite and undetermined amount, really. Suddenly, it was obvious to me that it was ludicrous to try to see the whole truth from looking at only one nub or perspective. Only by considering the entirety of the issue was I approaching truth. It also became apparent that I could in no way determine the true complexity of the motives that another person might have from any single vantage point. Truth, by the way, is a plural concept and was never meant to be considered as a single position. To flesh issues out further, I was asked to plot on the same sphere several other possible perspective positions as I might imagine them to be for my issue. It now became even clearer to me that I had no way of correctly identifying or completely understanding the motives and behaviors of other people. What I had been seeing was a projection of things as they made sense to me. This realization led to several conclusions. First of all, there's no point of assigning intention to others because I don't really know what they experience in life, how they see things, or what their true motives might be. I can guess, but only by seeing each issue as one of infinite nubs on a sphere can I come close to understanding that their perspective is complex and not for me to try to figure out. Their motives and intentions are really none of my business. My perceptions are mine alone to care for and adjust as I see fit. Further, only by considering the various perspectives of an issue as infinite points, or nubs on a ball, could I get a glimpse of the truer, more comprehensive whole. As I practiced with many issues and situations, I realized that I could use this tool to gain greater understanding of life on many different levels. Only by crudely considering the entirety, as displayed by this tool, could I approach truth, and especially my truth. Continued use of the nubby ball tool led me to understand that everything is fractal in nature, and this tool allows us to see our own fractal flow. We are, and everything we perceive is divinity diversified. I didn't realize it at the time, but the nubby ball tool also represents a tesseract. A tesseract is infinity cycled through what we perceive as finite space and time. All levels of reality from the subatomic Planck length to the universal expanse follow the same dynamic flow. And all beliefs, societies, and systems can be assessed with this model of analysis. As it is above, so it is below. As it is within, so it is without. Another name for the nubby ball tool process and result is quantum holography. We have been taught that we live in a duality, a binary system. Good, bad, light, dark, up, down. Any binary concept considers only 2 points among infinite positions within the realm of possibility. Truth and balance are at the center. And so the more points we consider, the more we come to understand reality, socially as well as other aspects of life. The best we can do, being imperfect beings, is to plot the opposites of an issue or situation at the poles, and then consider as many additional points as we can on our nubby ball tool. This gives us a sense of the whole and leads to fourth and fifth dimensional thinking. Consider this. The dot or the single point on the left-hand side top of this diagram, this represents a point of awareness or being. It is actually 0 dimension. The figure below it represents movement between 2 points, 1 dimension, which equals length. And the square below that, this represents movement between 4 points, or 2 dimensions, height and width. And the box below that, or the cube, this represents movement between 8 points, 3 dimensions, height, width, and depth. Here is the next dimensional level of reality. A nubby ball is made up of an infinite number of 3-dimensional shapes, creating 4th and 5th dimensions and beyond. And here you'll see some images. On the left, there are 2 designs. A tesseract, well, this actually illustrates the procession of movement. A tesseract is infinity and eternity cycled through what we perceive as finite space and time. As objects, beliefs, and systems pass through what we perceive as finite space and time, everything follows a procession of movement, which we perceive as cycles. So the diagram on the right and the diagram below shows how small cycles form larger cycles, which form larger cycles and larger cycles. And the pattern is it just moves through all of these cycles. And this is how infinity and eternity are actually cycled through our perceptual arena, that of finite space and time. For those of you who are listening to this on an audio podcast, you might want to come over to YouTube or my website and watch this video, the visual aspects of this video, so that you can really benefit from the diagrams and the illustrations. Everybody thrives when we have a mission, and there is no greater mission than to become the change we wish to see in the world. Sometimes, though, we need a little help from consultation and support services. Have you discovered that this world is not what you thought it was? Have recent global events awakened you and leave you feeling unsettled? Do you feel isolated by your new, not so popular beliefs? It is a big shock to wake up and find that the old familiar world is gone. It can be disturbing to go down the various rabbit holes, only to find that the information is difficult to digest, and few people are willing to talk openly about it. Would you like to learn how to thrive in this new state of awareness? You are not a conspiracy theorist. You are awakening, and once you find your way through it, there are many blessings waiting on the other side. My name is Karen Holton, and I offer vital services that may be just what you need, and support for your journey into the weird and wonderful. Check out my awakening support and ascension consultation services, created to support individuals with their chosen alternative realities and lifestyles, health and recovery, and their spiritual adventures. For more details, check out the various vital services found on my website, and be assured that I have found personal success with every category featured. My website is www.KarenHoltonHealthCoach.com. That's KarenHolton HealthCoach.com. A nubby ball also represents an energetic toroidal field. At the center of the nubby ball is the source of all concepts, ideas, situations, etc. This central source is truth and balance, a unified whole. To glimpse at the complexity and interconnectedness of all there is, consider this. You and I are nubby balls. We have and we are energetic torus fields, and yet we are but nubs on a nubby ball, part of a larger energetic torus field. An example of this larger energetic torus field is consciousness. Every nub is also a nubby ball, yet all nubs connect to each other, forming ever more nubs on nubby balls, and so on and so on. The entire energetic phenomenon is consciousness. We call this chi, prana, scalar energy, orgone, Holy Spirit, etc. As it is above, so it is below. As within, as without. A nubby ball is also the flower of life. It is dynamic, ever-changing, and evolving under influence. Now let's bring this back to the nubby ball as a practical tool for analysis and integration by considering some of its possible uses. How and why you could use the nubby ball as a practical tool. It allows us to see more of an issue, situation, or way of being, grasping a more balanced sense of the whole. Nubby ball plumps out the 3D, revealing the dynamic, interconnected nature of all things. Use of the nubby ball assists us with overcoming our binary programming and our black-white, positive-negative, up-down, good-evil worldview, so we can see things as truly complex and dynamic. The Nubby Ball tool helps us to weed out the fallacies and allows for a greater degree of self-analysis, which helps us to build our character. This tool assists us to comprehend and upload complex data into our thinking schema. Nubby Ball helps us to understand social issues, which may have caused us discomfort or awkwardness in the past. It assists us to reconcile cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is the discomfort a person feels when their behavior does not align with their values or their beliefs. Once we become aware, we can better align our behaviors with our values. The Nubby Ball tool allows us to more fully integrate that which we choose to believe. It offers us a way to look at issues more analytically and less emotionally. Nubby Ball expands our awareness, leading us to powerful knowledge, and self-knowledge is true personal power. The Nubby Ball tool strongly illustrates why the standardizing bureaucracy of the economic, political, social construct is so limiting. The Nubby Ball tool dissolves conflict, and it sharpens our critical thinking skills. You do not need to believe anything in order to benefit from this tool. Don't worry about understanding the quantum aspects of the Nubby Ball. Just pretend it works and give it a try. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Soon it will become an automatic system for learning. How to use your Nubby Ball tool. First of all, suspend your opinions for 5 minutes and pretend the Nubby Ball tool works as I have described. Promise yourself that you will return to your old skepticism after trying to use it as described for just 5 minutes. Next, visualize a Nubby Ball clearly in your mind, or you can use an image like this on your right. Take any social issue and divide it into 2 extreme and polar opposite viewpoints. Plot these 2 positions at the poles of your Nubby Ball, as illustrated on the left. Now consider your point of view. Plot where your honest position might be, and then plot the opposite of your position on the corresponding opposite side of this sphere. Once you can see these 4 points plotted clearly, throw in another random position and plot it and its opposite point. By this time, you have plumped out the issue, and you can make guesses as to what the whole of the issue might actually look like. Congratulations! You now have a quantum view of the bigger picture as suggested by the original issue. Now you're in a position to make some educated guesses and draw some holistic conclusions. You can understand matters more fully and better execute your strategic planning. When you practice and lengthen the time you spend considering concepts, people, places, and things this way, you can draw quantum conclusions almost instantly. Soon it becomes an automatic system of analysis. I believe that we are already using a version of the Nubby Ball tool subconsciously, which gives us our intuition and our hunches. Hold on, this is only the beginning. Now you're ready to integrate your light body and your shadow body. Nubby Ball, a tool for analysis, and light shadow self-integration. If you shine a light on one side of a Nubby Ball, you find a light side and a shadow side. Likewise, no matter how much we deny this programmed duality within ourselves and attempt to walk in the light, our shadow side remains. We share a collective consciousness of light and shadow, as well as a personal dichotomy. When we consider the light side and the shadow side of ourselves, it is good to remember that we are complex, and things are not as simple as when we consider things from a dualistic perspective. So on the right, we have an image with good plotted at the top and evil plotted at the bottom. And I've divided it into 4 quadrants. On the shadow side, on the top quadrant, on the left-hand side, we see doing the right thing, but perhaps with the wrong intention. That might be the shadow side. Whereas on the light side of the northern quadrant on the right, you might be doing the right thing with the right intention. Moving below to the southern hemisphere of the sphere, on the shadow side, you might be doing the wrong thing with the wrong intention. But on the right side of the southern hemisphere, which is closer to the pole marked evil, you might be doing the wrong thing with the right intention. I'm just going to read the top again because I can't remember where I left off. When we consider the light side and the shadow side of ourselves, it is good to remember that we are complex and things are not as simple as when we consider things from a dualistic perspective. When we consider our more visible light side, we often forget that sometimes we do the right things for the wrong reasons. When we consider our suppressed shadow side, we remember that sometimes we do the wrong thing for the right reasons. This illustrates the futility of dualistic concepts like good and evil. An honest self-examination is needed in order to reveal that sometimes light is not always the best path in life, and there is value in our shadow side. So I've got 2 books displayed here. I'm not going to read all this information on where to find it in the library or to order it online. I'll just give you the title. There is one book is called The Denial of Death by Ernest Becker, and it's the best book that I have found exposing our collective shadow consciousness. I recommend that you do some independent research on the light shadow dual nature of being human. The other book that I'm recommending is called Meeting the Shadow, The Hidden Power of the Dark Side of Human Nature, and it's a compilation of quite a few different authors and their experiences with meeting and dealing with their shadow side. Again, for those of you who are listening on the audio podcast, you might want to come over and take a look at the video podcast as well to get the most out of this lesson. There are so many free videos about this subject available on YouTube and other social media platforms. In the beginning, most of us shy away from shadow work, usually out of fear. But if we do not do this type of personal work, we can look forward to 3 things. The first is denial. The shadow remains hidden and is activated fairly regularly without our conscious knowledge or consent. We do not get the results we wish for in our relationships or in life in general. The second thing is projection. We blame others for their faults, and our relationships fail to develop fully and remain superficial. We get caught up in victim role playing, and our most important relationships tend to fail. Projection is also when we project the things we don't like about ourselves onto other people, or intentions that we don't want to admit that we have and project them onto other people. And as mentioned, we can get caught up in victim role playing, and our most important relationships tend to fail. And the third thing is the failure to evolve. If we do not get to know ourselves, this impedes self-reflection and personal growth. However, if we boldly go where few have gone before and choose to do an honest appraisal of our whole selves, we can look forward to less denial and less subconscious sabotage. Life becomes richer and more rewarding. Without the need for projection, we no longer bully, scapegoat, or stereotype others because we can accept folks as they really are. We will find little reason for dramatic entanglements so relationships become deeper and more fulfilling. And finally, when we choose to do an honest appraisal of our whole selves, we take responsibility for our actions. We are now able to engage in meaningful self-reflection and confidently make our own necessary adjustments for personal growth and evolution. Now we can truly begin to thrive and find the happiness and the contentment that we deserve. So I have some recommendations. Number 1, use the Nubby Ball tool to plot your known positive attributes and consider the opposite attributes you may want to avoid seeing. Number 2, now take time for meaningful self-reflection and become more aware of all of your uncensored thoughts and feelings. Number 3, once you see your shadow emerging, do not censor yourself. Instead, focus and notice on how you feel. Number 4, without judgment or condemnation, thank your shadow self for the information it gives you through thoughts and feelings. Number 5, look for the wisdom and the warnings within the nonsense. We don't have to like this part of us. We are only looking for the essence of the message. This exercise might feel really icky at first, but with practice, these shadow messages become less disturbing over time. You are now listening to these previously tuned out thoughts and images, so they can naturally dial themselves down. The goal is not to delete the shadow self, but to learn to walk with and learn from our internal shadow partner. Light and shadow coexisting together like siblings. We can now learn from the important messages from both sides, which facilitates integration. In truth, not one of us is good or evil. We are products of our spirit, genetics, environment, and social upbringing. Light-shadow integration more than doubles what we know. Personal awareness is personal power. I have an image here on the right of the hero's journey. So hopefully I have given you enough information to encourage you to set out on your own hero's journey. This is not an easy path, but one that is very rewarding. Each time we progress through this cycle, we get better at it, grow stronger, and evolve to a life we never imagined possible. So for those of you who are listening on the audio, the 12 o'clock position, think of the hero's journey as being much like the face of a clock, an analog clock, of course. And the 12 o'clock position is the call to adventure. And then the 1 o'clock position is we come across something supernatural and we decide that we're going to cross the threshold from the known to the unknown. We cross the threshold, and then at the 3 o'clock position, we come across helpers, mentors, but also challenges and temptation. And by the time we get to the 6 o'clock position, we could end up going through the dark night of the soul. Sometimes we just feel completely demoralized, depressed. That is perfectly natural and a part of the hero's journey. But through this, we realize the revelation, and we come out of it at the 7 o'clock position being transformed. And then by the 9 o'clock position, we go through what we call atonement, where our transformation helps us to rethink our entire course of life and our attitudes. And then we cross back over the threshold. We do the return at 11 o'clock, and we're back to 12 o'clock, a call to another adventure. If you are now completing Step 9, Black Introduction to the Nubby Ball Tool and Light Shadow Integration, you have already crossed the threshold and are well on your way. I wish you every blessing possible in this life, and I'm here to give you the support you may need from time to time. Check out my vital services offered through my website, www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com. That's KarenHolton healthcoach.com. Now, if you're watching this on the visual, I have a link to where you can find this video, other information, and the workshop video on my website. By the way, when you purchase the PDF copy of this primer, it will come complete with all the links that you need. This concludes the Quantum Health Transformation version 3.0 Advanced Training for Healers and Alternative Health Practitioners, Step 9 Black. Please feel free to contact me for more information and for assistance with your light shadow integration program. I'm grateful for all the forces that assist me with the production of this free 9-step online course. Please join me for the next step in this online course called Step 8 Red, Grounding and Core Belief Systems. For those of you who would like to contact me, I'm a holistic wellness coach and a talk show host. You can find me at www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com or on youtube.com/@KarenHoltonTV, or you can email me at quantumhealthnow@gmail.com. Then I have a free resources page here with all the links that you would need to go to my website, to find my free resources, to learn about orgone generators, of course, this free online course. I have podcasts about health and vitality. I have social spiritual podcasts. I've got my weekly show called the Quantum Guide Show, which comes out every Wednesday evening. I have a second podcast called Aliens and Angels. I also have a Facebook group called Aliens and Angels for those of you who are fascinated by the subject. I have more serial podcasts. I've got Fringe View podcasts. I've got all of my links to all my appearances as I have been the guest on many other shows and with many other YouTube creators. I've got audio podcasts, video podcasts. I've got published articles that I had written, 12. I had one published each month for 12 months in Sybil magazine. And then I have links to my YouTube channel, Rumble, and also Odyssey. And that is the end of the lesson for today. I hope you've enjoyed it and gotten a lot out of it. Again, just a reminder to please go over and watch the workshop video where I'm going over this material with students. They have some interesting comments and questions, and it just plumps everything out. But this is the very basic pattern. Sorry, the very basic information. So thank you very much for joining me. I wish you all a wonderful week. I'm sending you out much love and blessings. And we'll see you next time for Step 8 of Quantum Health Transformation. Bye-bye, everybody.